Alright, welcome to episode 3 of the Infernoid Ladder Climb. The same deck list was played in the first 2 episodes, so nothing's changed here. So I'm just going to show the deck lists and a brief card by card for anyone who's just new to this. It's a 1 Fabled Lurie, 3 Infernoid Decatron, 1 Snake Eye Ash, 1 Snake Eye Oak, 1 Snake Eye Poplar, 2 Maxi, 1 Harmadic, 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Aruha, 1 Rikea, 1 Sarama, 2 Petrula, 1 Snow, 1 Sajet, 2 Sharvara, 1 Shyama, 2 Engraver, 1 Sightsmoss, 1 Black Witch, 1 Abominable Unchained Soul, 1 Flamebird Dragon, 2 Deviati, 2 Inoku, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Grass, 3 copies of Abomination's Prison, 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, 3 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust, 2 Bonfire, 1 Original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye, 1 Fiendsmith Track, 3 copies of Void Vanishment, 3 copies of Void Imagination, 1 Wanted Seeker Sinful Spoils, 1 Void Feast, 2 Escape of the Unchained, 2 Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. In the extra, we're on 3 fusions. They're Infernoid Evil, Aerial Eater, and Infernoid Tiara. 1 XZ, we're on Wave Hiking Caesar, and the rest are Link monsters. We got 1 Requiem, 1 Unchained Soul of Rage, 2 copies of Yama, 1 copy of SP Little Knight, 1 Moon of the Closed Heaven, 1 Fiendsmith Sequence, 1 Unchained Soul of Anguish, 1 Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames, 1 Access Code Talker, and 1 Infernoid Flood. Ending last episode, we ended up back in Diamond 5. We are trying to get back to Diamond 4. These games were played in advance, so I have already played them. I'm actually already in Master 5 at the time of recording this, so I'll be recording multiple episodes until we get there. The goal is eventually to get to Master 1. So let me turn off my Master Duel, and we will play the duels. Alright, so here we go. We are up against the player on their rank up game. We won the dice roll. We are choosing to go first. So they're going to start off with Open Max C into our turn 1 setup, which is, of course, the thing you want to start off by seeing. Alright, so we're just going to set pass, and let's see what our opponent does. So they have Wanted, so basically we're just dead, because there's only so much you can do in this scenario. Not on play, on Imperm, so I forgot I said I was trying to fix my camera setup here. So Black Witch is going to... So I have Chamber. So Chamber can be used to summon the bomb from the hand, and then I can discard a card to pop a card. So they have Deception. So basically, I guess the thought process I had at the time of playing this was to activate Chamber, summon a bomb, and try and pop the back row. It either will or won't stop them. That's all the options we have. We have Imagination for follow-up if they make a weak extra deck card that I can play through, but there's not too many things that I won't be able to play through. This also gives them a free draw because Wanted was in Graveyard. So they have Attract. At this point, I think I'm ready to concede, but this is, I think, right after the Beatrice ban. I forget, so we'll see where our opponent goes. Because they get into Beatrice, then they can basically do anything they want, and then nothing I have matters. I have a set Unchained, so we could always float around and try and continue. So they summon Valor, so they have 2 bodies to go into sequence, and then they can bring back the Engraver later. But at this point, yeah, they have enough guys to summon Lacrima or sequence, depending on what they want to do. So they go into Lacrima. I'm going to bring back Engraver. Since they open track, they're not going to like add it back to hand just to add a track, just so they can discard it and search again. Okay. So apparently this is recorded before the ban went into effect, so I recorded this before April 10th. There's Snake Eye Ash. I should probably just be scooping here. I will fast forward if nothing of interest happens. But there's not much to do. We could survive, depends on how they deal with our floater. They're doing some weird stuff with their board, so maybe that's why I stuck around. Dramatic Snake Eye Chase is like a weird card. All it does is push up a card from the back row during the end phase. And you can only put Diabell in the back row. And do you really want Diabell start in the back row? I'm going to fast forward for a second. Let's see what's going on here. So all our cards are in the back row, but they did not kill us. So that's where we are currently. So they have Promethean Princess in the... Do that first. So I want to resolve Imagination. So I guess it is to see if I can bait out an Ash. Did they add an Ash back? Alright, so we lose there. Alright, so game 2, we are now 12 and 16, but we are in Diamond 5, so we can't rank down at this point, so there is the plus. Alright, so I'm going to start off with Poplar. I have Bonfire to search Ash or Oak afterwards to like thin the deck out, but Poplar in hand doesn't really make a huge difference. This plays into Droll the best. since I've been drolled, I have Original to a Decatron, and then I have Thrust to set a Unchained card. So if they negate this, then, you know, we're not doing anything, so irrelevant of anything else. Now, I don't play like the best cards to set off of my Thrust going first if I just get stopped, so my options are to set an Unchained card as something I can possibly pop next turn. I can set Grass and just hope that it survives. I guess I just opted not to bother since I have Bonfire, and I'll probably force out a hand trap next turn. I can make a decision at that time. If I search Grass, it forces my opponent to try and target Grass, but then I have no like follow-up card. So they have Tracked, so they've already got basic Snake Eye combo. I'm sorry, Fiendsmith combo. So we're going to activate Lurie, they can go into Requiem. Starting this way, they're probably not on like Kashtiras, or they would have to summon that first. My biggest problem with like these one-card Light Fiends is just that you don't even know what they're actually playing yet. They could have a Kashtira. They can also normal summon Black Witch if they really want to. This looks like a really weak setup. They didn't normal summon. They just start with Track. Okay, so it looks like they open pretty weak, so I just need to find a way to like bait out a hand trap. This seems like a scenario where it would have been better for me to have activated the Thrust and set something. My opponent doesn't seem like they would have been able to out it, but I guess I made more of a reasonable assumption that they would have something. Alright, so we have Wanted. They have Maxi. Fantastic. No point in chaining Maxi Wanted here. I can always chain Wanted if they draw me again. If they draw me, then they're turning off their own Maxi. So at this point, we're just going to get Grass out of the deck before they draw any cards so that they don't have Ash for it. I don't think I've misclicked the set off of this lately, but alright, they don't have any Kashtiras on board to trigger off of this, to trigger the Birth. Alright, so we milled Shelvar, we're going to set a card. I think we also milled like Deviati, so we can just pop off back row. Black Witch from the graveyard. Manoku's like a dead card in hand we can use. We can put the Original back to set off of the Black Witch. I think we're just going to OTK because we just have enough cards that there's nothing much our opponent can draw into to stop us, except for like, there are no... We didn't know that many Infernoids. Alright, well we have Decatron in hand, we can search another Decatron with the... One of the things I gotta get in the habit of doing is banishing the Decatron so that Oak can bring it back from the banish zone to increase the number of Noids there are overall. So we can chain block the Chamber with Poplar in the event that they actually drew into an Ash at this point. What happens a lot when you're doing these like Maxi challenge combos is your opponent will draw into like, what's it called? So I'm just double checking my graveyard if my Sarama has something to pop. Should I bring it back or get it with Yama or something? Alright, so we're gonna activate this to destroy the Fiendsmith because we're pretty close to just killing them with the cards we have. So I could basically just summon Engraver and then normal summon Decatron, and then that's the end of the game. At best, they'll be drawing into Bestial to block. They could have drawn into like a Foolos, and then when you kill the monster early, that becomes a problem. So, alright, so we got Spell Trap Negate in the event they actually like go Nib/Imperm. Put a Black Witch, and this should be game on board. The only thing I could have done differently is like send Petrula and then have Petrula pop the Ruha to summon another guy from the deck, but this should be enough guys. I also could have summoned one more Infernoid out of the deck. But we're just attacking the game. Alright, so we're back in the win column. Alright, so our opponent is choosing to go second. We lost the dice roll. Oh, well, our opponent chose to go first. We are going second. And we have Thrust, so that could be good going second. They're starting off with Drytron, which means unending cutscene, tons of fairies. They have just a bunch of fairies we're probably not playing through. I do play Dark Ruler in the deck at 3, so it is possible that we draw into something. Fast forward a little bit and see if anything happens. So we are... Apparently we drew Flameburge. They have Earl of Ultimateness. They have several cards that they can negate here with. I think they have Ava in hand, and that should be the end of the game, because I don't have enough playables into this. So we are going to lose that one. So 13 and 17, so negative record still, but we'll see what we can do. So we opened a play, but we are going second. Right, so they set 2. Our deck's pretty good at breaking boards, so we drew Grass. The question is, do we just start with Grass, or do we just start off by wasting cards? So, got some of Petrula. I love Maxi, my favorite card. Alright, so Petrula can pop the back row. If we really want to, we can normal summon a Shyama and then pop the other back row and leave them with like no cards. I don't know what card I hit, but apparently it was good enough to make them just concede. Maybe they just didn't like that they didn't get a draw off of the Maxi there. So we're 14 and 17. Going second, we have Dark Ruler the Board Breaker and a playable monster in Fabled Lyrie against Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is like where this Dark Ruler tends to go in the best. Because like, other than like a bunch of Veilers that they could search off of all of their Sage with Eyes of Blue, there's usually not too much interaction in the hand. Where, you know, they can just search for Thrust and make plays. I could probably do something. So they use Wishes to get Sage and Roar, so now they can summon Blue Eyes. They have Maiden in Graveyard, they have True Light on field. True Light is interesting. It's like better and worse version of Eternal Soul. It only triggers when it's sent from field to graveyard to destroy all your monsters, but it only gives you targeting protection, but it also can set Spell Trap. And better Spell Traps than Eternal Soul, which only gets Dark Magic Attack and 1,000 Knives, so they can summon a Blue Eyes. They're currently Dragon Locked, so they can't summon back Maiden off of this. Perhaps they'll just summon Maiden in a second. Alright, so Spirit with Eyes of Blue, contributing to summon Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes will come out, and then they'll get Maiden back. That's 1 a level 9 Synchro. They need 2 to really, like, do their combo. So there's Maiden. They have an extra normal summon, so they're going to use Wishes to equip a fusion monster. This way they'll have targeting protection. I have to get used to not targeting Blue Eyes monsters with that in the graveyard, or using my Infernoids to DD Crow the targeting protection. I find most Blue Eyes decks only play 1 True Light, so if you can just kill True Light, then you can just, like, prevent them from really continuing to play after the first turn. So, like, if I Dark Roll them and out True Light, like, they can't do much. So they've got double Spirit Dragon, we've drawn Decatron, so now we have competing normal summons, which is a problem. So the goal is to try and... Did I really just open Dark Ruler? I think... Come on, the play is not open Dark Ruler. The play is to hope you can bait out one of the Spirit Dragons. Alright, so that's Half-Life down. See if they immediately jump on this. So, I already used my normal summon. So I can, like, bluff a card. Alright, so they've used Spirit. So the goal is to try and get them to trigger Thrust. Or to make Thrust live. So this doesn't beat Dark Ruler. And neither does this. They are Half-Life down, so I don't... Yeah, one of the funny things about Dark Rulers, you can just, like, play it and then, like, play a long turn and just hope your opponent forgets that they're Dark Rulered, and then they'll scoop when they see the game on board. Alright, so here's Siffer Divine Dragon along with the Ultimate Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. I guess now is the time to Dark Ruler. Turn off all these cards. We will Thrust, and we will see what we can get. We can get Grass, and just, like, try to mill a ton, or we can get, like, Bonfire and just do a combo. Grass, I think, plays less into, like, Veilor, because Veilor's a common card they search. They didn't droll us, that's good. Alright, so we'll Grass. If they have Ash, then we lose, but doesn't look like it. So Blue Dog and Poplar, and they scoop on the Grass. We are 15 and 17 currently. We are trying to be spoiler and stop this rank up for our opponent here. They won the dice roll, and they are choosing to go first. So we open 2 Decatrons, a Brick, the Blue Dog. I've opened Blue Dog way too much. We are up against a very fun deck. So we're up against Exosister with the Fissure. They open with Martha, or packs for Martha. And they're playing Endymion, so that's interesting. How do we beat the Fissure? At the moment, my hand is just not good. I don't think there's much I can do. Like, I can normal Decatron and activate Spec, but sending something to the graveyard doesn't really do anything here. Currently, their cards are getting banished. So Caspatel searches a monster. Which feels weird, because they've already done Martha. I guess they get Martha the next turn. But they get another monster on field here. Okay, so I'm just going to summon Stella and then overlay for Michaelis, which will search a spell trap. Could be Vadis, could be Returnia. Oh, they got Carpvidium, which I think is... I can't target them. Okay. Not, like, super great. Alright. So, is there a way to do anything through here? Nope. We are just conceding. Alright, so, like, my thoughts are if I find, like, oh, way to summon a monster, I can then tribute summon the Shrivara and then pop the D-Fissure, but it doesn't really do anything when all these cards are getting banished. Alright, so we're 15 and 18. Our opponent got to rank up before. I think this person is just ranking up as well. Let's see what we can do. Going second, we have Dark Ruler and Thrust, which could be a lot. We have Ash, which could do a lot through the Dark Ruler. And we have a trap card, should they try to pop it. And they're going to open Fenrir. So if they search tier cache, it's tier. They search regular cache, unicorn. So, and then they're starting with the desires. After getting those good cards out of their deck, they're going to start with, they're going to summon, they normal summon their Rise Heart. We lost the Maxi, a Vanishment, and a Duster. And they've gone for Shangri-La. Okay, so they may not have good targets left in their deck after desires. And we've drawn more Snake Eye cards. And that turns on Thrust. So as long as I don't flip over Macrocosmos, where we don't just like grass right into it, probably alright. I guess we'll just keep our extra deck intact. Try and get the Poplar out of the deck before it gets milled. Alright, so they flip over Imperm, so that's in our favor. For not dying to like a D-Shifter-like card like D-Fissure or Macro. If they have Ash, we aren't doing anything. So we just get grass and go off here. We could have just searched Bonfire and went for Poplar. But our opponent played Desire, so that minimizes their deck count, so it just makes more sense to go for grass. Milled a ton of Noids, we got Poplar, and we got... Oh, some of the funner things you can do is you can use Poplar to put the Flamebirds in the back row, and then pop them with the Infernoids. You can put the Flamebirds in the back row and trigger it, you can put Vara in the back row and trigger it, you can put Aruha in the back row and trigger it by destroying it with like Deviati or Patrula. Alright, so we have 2 traps in deck, which means we have one in hand, so... There's Flamebird. Okay. I get to summon Deviati and summon Mad Guys by popping my trap cards. We already normal summoned, our Ash is negated. Based on the number of Noids, I don't have enough to really summon. So the goal here is to leave all the Decatrons in grave so that they can be summoned off of the Flamebird. And all these cards are going to get chain blocked, and I have a Monster Negate. Our opponent has Gesture, Unicorn in hand, and then 3 blanks. If they have Bell, which would be a weird thing for, I think, Cashier to play. So I'm wondering like how I want to chain block this sequence. Do I play into Bell or do I play into Ash? Oh, did I not activate the trap card? I think I just misclicked and forgot to activate one of the traps. That's a weird mistake. Oh no, I didn't have room on the board. So what was the point of activating both? I think I just decided to chain block the Decatrons with the Abominable, but our opponent probably has no Ash at this point, or they would have Ashed the grass. So chain blocking was the point, just seeing what gets ogred, if anything gets ogred, or it doesn't really matter what we pop at this point. You just have to set up a board that they can't come back from. Sometimes the goal is to leave some of the negates in the graveyard to bring back off of... Leave some of the negates in deck with like the Inokus and the Deviatis to bring back off the Decatrons when you send the Flamebirds to the graveyard, because I'm going into Yama at the moment, but I can go into Promethean and bring back Flamebird. Trying to leave some of these guys in deck, so we're just going to grab Shavara. Princess will come out, and I guess we're probably just gonna bring back Flamebird. Then will I put their monster in the back row? Because I can run over it and they can't die because of Dark Ruler. So probably makes more sense to put Poplar in the back row, because Poplar can then put the Flamebirds in the back row. Oh, I put their monster in the back row. Okay. Don't see what's happening. Alright. So now I'm just unfirelocking myself by summoning the Sharvara, so I can go into something like Fiendsmith cards, go to Moon or something. I know they have Unicorn, so it could just be a good idea just to bring out Rage. Finally go for a Bestial, targeting the Engraver. Does it make sense to use Deviati? At this point, if they're holding Nib, then they're absurd, but this is what it is. They've got Magnemite as well. So Magnemite's going to come down. It'll be able to activate the search. The question is, are there any Bestials left in their deck? Because they've already activated Desires. For some reason I decided to bring back my Promethean. I guess I'm bringing back Promethean so I can make Flood and then summon back another Infernoid. They are wasting a lot of cards in their hand just doing this, so they reduced their hand size by 2. I can bring back my... There's not a lot of options off of Yama when you have the Promethean on the field. The only reason to do this is to bring back the Deviati again. So I have the Monster Negate set up again, because they're going to get an end phase search for like a Bestial probably. I shall leave both Decatrons in grave, which is cool. Might as well be in defense position. Allow Flood to banish the Unicorn. There's a temptation to leave it on the board. I have lost a couple of games recently by leaving cards in my opponent's back row, because then they can just use them for Droplet or something. And there are no dragons in their deck, so their Magnemite searches for nothing. We've gotten hit with Radiant, who negates Inherent Summons, so that's funny. Spirit Claw cached. if we don't do this, they could banish Theosis and then like get a card back. This way we just bring back 2 Decatrons that can both negate anything that their card does. I'm pretty sure there's an Oko and a Deviati in the deck, so I just send one of each. And if they do an inherent summon, we just summon Promethean Princess, and then they're out of cards. So this should be the end of the game. So one of each, what are you going to do? Summon another Kaiju, summon Unicorn, Promethean Princess, pop, pop. And we have our concession. So we're at 16 and 18. I believe I played a replay here because I forgot to record this game for whatever reason. Like I didn't realize the camera wasn't going. I think we're up against Rescue Ace. Start off with Poplar into Original. Original bring back Poplar. This is not an ideal opener. Ash and Poplar. Ash to add Decatron. I already had Decatron. Bring out Flameburge and pass. Not much to do here. I try to summon their guy from the back row, hoping it's going to actually stop them, but no, they're just going to do a lot of things. But I do have Flameburge and bodies to block, so I don't really know exactly when I want to like stop or let this game go, but I probably should do it sooner, because I think it's pretty obvious I'm going to die here. There are definitely enough cards that can just deal with the Flameburge. I'm like, how are they going to deal with the Flameburge? Are they just going to like banish with SP or something? But no, they're just cards that Rescue Ace inherently plays that just out this, so I'm just going to fast forward to the next game. So we are definitely losing this one. Oop, too far. Go back. Alright, there we go. Alright, next game. And we are going first. We have Vanishment and Imagination and Engraver. So do I bother using Snake Eye Ash, or do I just make sure that the Deviati goes through? So I think I just opted to see if I can... I wanted to protect my Feast to make sure it went through for some reason, instead of bothering with Snake Eye Ash. They both accomplish the same thing in this scenario. So I don't know if that was the right idea. I still probably should have considered just leading off with the Fiendsmith Engraver while they can't Bestial me. So we're just going to go for Requiem, Requiem into Engraver. We have a couple Light Fiends, so we can go into Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater can send... Oh, I'm going to go for Yama. This doesn't sound right. Aerial Eater into Sharvara, into Yama, into Ruha is like the better play. What am I doing? Okay, I guess I don't need this Imagination. I don't know, I feel like this is just a bad choice. I still have access to Engraver at this point. Like a weird line on my own part here. Like, I can Promethean Princess back Decatron, and then, like, definitely done in a weird order. I don't think I agree with my own lines. Sometimes I try to think of, like, ways to fusion summon evil, but I have Vanishment in hand, so what do I care about that? Like, that's not relevant or important. I just threw away my Imagination for some reason. I've already triggered Sharvara, so I'm just gonna send Shyama. Sometimes it's better to just put the Yama in the graveyard just to make sure you have it set up, but sometimes I leave it on the board so that I have like access to Soul of Rage using any monster. Alright, so Promethean Princess, we're going to sending Seismos because I want to be able to summon something. So I might need another body. Because currently what I see here is I have Flood, Soul of Rage, Escape on the field, and Weed Peace. Like, I don't think anyone's beating us with this, but I still feel like this was handled poorly. Like a roundabout way to get somewhere. Currently I have... Oh, I guess I brought back Engraver already. Okay, so this is the board I just said we were going to have. Pitching the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Snake Eye Ash to set it up. And no protection against... no protection for the Feast. So I am relying on my opponent not to break through. So... Open Evenly Matched. Oh, I remember this game. I just totally wasn't paying attention. And didn't realize they went battle phase, because I was watching TV. And basically this sucks, because if I was paying a little more attention, I could have done this at the beginning of the battle phase. Because currently I'm trying to prevent all my cards from going to the graveyard. What the hell? I pop my monster so I can keep the Feast live, because if I can just get to another Void card, I can activate it, I think. Yeah, this is just dumb. I just was not paying attention while playing. Because currently we just get to float back Rage plus one of our cards. And now we get Max Seed 2. Oh yeah, this is whack. Like, Resolving Feast doesn't do anything once we're already at the stage where Evenly's been activated, but I definitely could have activated that earlier. I just was not... Definitely was not focused. If I went into Evil at some point last turn, I could have, like, brought Evil back and destroyed it with Yama, and then had a Void card to resolve the Void Feast. This was just badly played. Alright, so our opponent's on 3 cards. We didn't special summon yet. So we just had to see what they can do with 3 cards. And they're on blue eyes, and I think they get to make a full board here. So they wasted the Maxi because I'm not going to be able to summon anything. They don't have a way to deal with the... They do not have a way to deal with the Beast in the back row, but it's currently not live. So they don't really have to. We have Engraver in the graveyard. Decatron in hand. Beast set. Like, just Blood Engrave as an Infernoid. So they used Maiden to get True Light to get Wishes, Wishes to get Majesty and Sage. Sage will be getting... Oh no, another Maiden? That's a weird choice. Going to Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirital Search. What do you call it? Mausoleum. Mausoleum will dump Blue Eyes. Odd that they were maining evenly. I just annoyed at myself for not like firing off that beast on battle phase, in battle phase before the end of the battle phase. Nothing I can do about it now. There's gonna recover a tuner. So there is a Sage. So having Sage back in hand means that their Maiden can trigger off of Sage targeting. So Spirit summons Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is going to bring back Maiden. So they're going to use Wishes to equip a fusion monster. So probably the Neo Blue Eyes. Prevent targeting. Already tagging out. Feels like the wrong time for that. It's not going to make a huge deal. Huge difference. They do it now or later, but usually they wait for both Spirit Dragons to be on the field. Or do it in the end phase so that they can tag out and not get Veilered. I mean, they know what my card is, so it doesn't matter. Or they should know what my card is, unless they forgot their turn taking a while. They brought back Master, and there's something Blue Eyes from the deck. Or a Blue Eyes monster, I guess, so they can bring out Jet if they really want to. So now they have Jet. So what's this going to be? Spirit for Crimson Dragon target. Ultimate for Cipher. Probably. Later videos I've definitely edited together these to be cut a little quicker so they don't take as long in their plays. Okay. They grab Synchro Rumble, which means they can just get back another tuner. They can tag out for Cipher, or is it Blazar? My guess is going to be Cipher. I think Blazar, you need to be like going into a board because it's going to get destroyed in the end phase by... Oh, no. Blazar would survive. The Spirit Dragon destroys the card it summons, so the ultimate is probably going to try and destroy itself during the end phase here. It's taking them a long time. Alright. End phase, Cipher protects, and here we go. Alright, so now I have 2 Decatrons, so adding back Decatron accomplished nothing. Javara would have been better in knowing this. Alright, so we're gonna normal Decatron. They've got Majesty, they've got Cipher's a monster negate, and a pop, and so negate that effect if you destroy 1 card on the field. So he's gonna destroy my Decatron, or... So my trap card doesn't really do anything at the moment. Okay, so... It's a body. I can use the... So ultimate only negates a card on the field. Alright, so the Jet's coming out because a card was destroyed. They destroyed East. All their cards require 2 destructions to die. That's something I forget sometimes, that even if I destroy, like, the True Light here, they've got, like, 2 protections from the Cipher itself, so even if I spend all my time trying to deal with True Light... Oh, what the hell is that? Alright, so I brought back Yama and Pop Yama. And because they summoned Spirit, I could summon Princess, but if I do Princess, I'm Firelock. So we have Abominable, which is going to come out. Probably going to discard, destroy... I don't know what I'm going to try and destroy. I think this game comes down to me, like, misremembering something. So all their negates are over with. Let's do some plays. If I could bring back... Like, one of the things I should, like, consider doing is using Engraver to get rid of the Cipher so that I can destroy the True Light. I can banish the True Light with Sightsmas. Definitely like a game I just throw because I forget Cipher is going to protect everything from True Light. It might be this one. I don't remember what game and which video it was. So bring back Engraver into Requiem, Requiem to summon. Engraver from the deck, we put on the Requiem, and then Requiem to send a card to the graveyard. I hope I don't misplay and send the Jet Dragon. Oh, the Jet Dragon prevents me from destroying the True Light, so I think that is what I do. I think I have to out Jet Dragon to destroy True Light. But I also have to out Cipher. Let's see how I play this / misplay it. Seems like a misplay type scenario. Alright, so I sent Cipher, which I guess is correct. So now they're going to be popping Yama's Engrave. Did I use it this turn? I think I did. Recall the game there I screwed up. It was a good game, so I assume I'm going to win this or be close at least. Attack into ultimate. Use ultimate to banish a card on the field. Now, True Light only activates when sent from the field to the graveyard, so banishing True Light doesn't really do what I want it to do. That could be something I forgot and then misplayed over it. Like, if I'm playing correctly, I should be just getting rid of the Jet Dragon and then trying out True Light anyway. Well, there goes True Light, so I did not do that correctly. What's in my grave to revive with? So, Princess. Doesn't sound right. Okay. I forgot. Jet, get Jet, get Jet. Yes, alright. If I clear this board, I effectively win the game, because then they don't have ways to get Blue Eyes into play, except for, like, Spirit Dragon. Bring something back from the graveyard with Promethean. Probably... Ooh, Snake Eye Ash. I forgot I had a whole Snake Eye combo in the graveyard. But maybe I can win the game from here. We only have 70 seconds, so I had a pretty nail-biter. I had a nail-biter in the last video, which went down to the wire. I don't recall being that far down here, but we'll see. Alright, so I don't have a way to link off my Promethean, so I'm just going to get rid of it. I have to get used to returning Decatrons from the Banner Zone. So that happens here. Currently we are sending an Oku. I guess I'm going to try and bomb the board in a minute. So original summoned Decatron to send, I don't know, probably Petrula. I don't think it matters too much. So we're putting Poplar in the back row. So like the Poplar, okay, our opponent I think ran out of time. Because they did take a... Oh, they just scooped. Okay, I think we were getting there, so... It's not that odd. Alright, so... We're at 17 and 19 at the moment. Our opponent is going first, playing Blue Eyes. They started with Wishes. They added, I think that was Roar and Sage. Sage is going to search for Maiden. Maiden's going to set True Light. True Light's going to get a card. Or Special Blue Eyes, I forget. So going to link for Spirit. Spirit's going to get Mausoleum. Mausoleum's going to be activated. Dumping Blue Eyes to the graveyard because they haven't had accessed it yet. So there's Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is going to bring back Maiden. And Maiden's going to let them make Spirit 1. I don't feel like I have the cards necessary to break a board here. So they have targeting protection now because of the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So there's Spirit as blue, which is then tagging out for Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ah, our opponent is doing fun combos. So I wonder what field spell they're playing. Their alternate field spell. So they summon their Valor. Okay. Considering this is... Oh, got a Waterfront. Weird. This is the Kaiju Gaming. I mean, I know they'll get enough stuff to get the Kaiju of their choice, but do they have a way to put it on the field? Because they have normal summoned already, I think. So I'm pretty sure they opened with Spirit, with Sage. They have Synchro Rumble. Okay. Because, like, Gamma Seal just says I can't do anything. If they can get the Gamma Seal, which I don't think they can. This might just be one of those games where they just, like, screw up their combo and scoop. Seems as though that's what's happening. We're at 18 and 19. We're almost even. We are one game away from going back to Diamond 4. But this hand is bananas. I think going first or second this hand wins just about anything except, like, super trap-heavy decks and super... I vaguely remember this game. This was a good game. I think it might be the entire length of the rest of this video. I'm pretty sure we win. Not sure. Alright, so they summon Whelp, Search, Destruction Swordsman. Or Prologue of Destruction Swordsman. They activate Maiden, set True Light, activate Wishes, pitching a card. I lost track of what card that was. Searching for Rage and Sage with Eyes of Blue. Activating Roar to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Here's Blue Eyes, which bring out the Maiden. So, what are we going to here? Probably Spirit with Eyes of Blue, which they haven't done yet. So Spirit to search Mausoleum. They've used a normal summon on the Buster Whelp already. Is this the misplay? Okay, because now they're equipping currently with Wishes to Blue Eyes to get Neo Blue Eyes in graveyard. Sometimes they misplay and they like leave Spirit on the field and they need to target like Maiden with something. So that would be Maiden with they have Majesty set also. Off of True Light. They're summoning Tyrant, I guess. So they're gonna Tribute Spirit, bring back Blue Eyes, and then they can make Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. They have another Sage, or this might be the first Sage. Looks like there's a Buster Blader in the graveyard array. I don't know if that screws up their play. I think they managed to summon both of these cards if I remember the duel back correctly. So they are going to activate Mausoleum, targeting Maiden and Chain Maiden to summon a level 1 or Blue Eyes from graveyard. So they bring back the Buster, dumping Blue Eyes, so they can go into Spirit Dragon. They actually have enough stuff to go into 2 Spirit Dragons. I don't know if they're going to want to get rid of their Tyrant. I don't know why they bothered to summon their Tyrant if they could have just synchroed off with Blue Eyes. Feels like a waste of a card you could have summoned later. I guess maybe they can't summon it later because they... I guess once they send the Neo Blue Eyes to the graveyard, how are you supposed to summon it? So they've got Double Spirit, which is probably going to be for Crimson Dragon plus Ultimateness, or Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Here's Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon to search Synchro Rumble. Oh no, they're tagging out. I was reading this. I'm like, I forgot what I was reading for it. They have to send a Buster Blader and a Destruction Sword card. So send another card. See what we can do here. Fable Lurry. Fantastic. Alright, where do we start? They can negate a monster effect, so we can just go for a Bonfire into Poplar, so we can save our normal summon for... Technically our Poplar doesn't search anything, so there's a reason to not get it. Oh, we didn't get Drolled. Almost Snake Eye Ash. So they're going for... Okay, so they activated the trap card to fusion summon, and then the grave effect of the trap they just sent is Synchro, or to special the Synchro monster. So there is Buster Blader, the Destruction Destroyer Swordsman, and Buster Dragon. So we are in defense. We get to search for Poplar, which is at least 2 bodies. I can't activate them. I can link summon. What do I link summon into? Is there anything worth link summoning into? So they currently still have not activated a monster effect, so I can't Rust. Grass, they might negate Grass. So negate Grass, they're going to get 1,000 attack points. I forgot I baited them with Grass when I did this. I guess the other cards don't really do anything at this point. Probably Dark Rulering all this so we can play the game. They have Majesty, so they have 2 pops with Blue Eyes cards. They're getting Dark Rulered. So we're going to use for Decatron. I think that might be what the problem is, that our opponent actually lets us do quite a few things before they Majesty us. So I get to do a lot more setup than I should be able to, I think. They've got Valor. I guess they felt safe with Valor. Currently my Snake Eye Ash is still alive, which is where I think they mess up here. They should just really just not let the Ash get through. But currently we got Snake Eye Oak for Decatron again. We get to try again with Decatron. Popping Decatron can stop Decatron from activating. If they pop now, Decatron still comes back. If they wait till afterwards. What do I send? I probably send an Oku to negate the spell trap. And then go into Flamebird. Because now if they waited this long, they just don't get any value out of it. And this is better for me because I don't really want to have a Flamebird on an open board. I need to get Decatron in the graveyard with the Flamebird. Do I put something in the back row here? Do I use Poplar to put something in the back row? I think I already did Poplar. So what are we putting in the back row? Oh, I think I thought that they had the other Blue Eyes in the graveyard. I think they banished it for something. Because it's not there. Or I grabbed the wrong one. Because there was a plan behind putting the Tyrant in the back row. Turn off the targeting protection. Alright, so we are going for Moon of the Closed Heaven. This is going to let Flamebirds bring back some cards. Bring back Ash and Decatron. I generally think it makes more sense to always bring back Poplar in case it winds up sitting on the board. After these cards are all used. So now they get to destroy up to 3. What will they pop? Leave Decatron, which is the worst choice. There's no reason to I don't know what on earth they were thinking there. The Decatron gets to send something and do whatever I want. The Ash is a used effect. They should not have left that alone. So we went for Sightsmoss for some reason. Not sure why exactly. Got rid of Anoku. Am I gonna pop True Light? I don't want the Spirit to float yet as part of my game plan, so I am putting off doing that. And I think I can use the Yama to bring back the Moon of Closed Heaven to do the Fiendsmith line afterwards. Alright, so looks like my only play is to summon back Sightsmoss. I can go into something. I think I banished the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. So I summon Sightsmoss, so I guess we're going to attack into... doesn't matter what we attack into, because they all can be destroyed. I think I go for Maiden so I take no damage. Then we can banish Ultimate Spirit, and then we just pop True Light, and then the game's over. Because then Ultimate Spirit doesn't leave by my card. So if they're going to set a spell trap, then it's a card I can just destroy. They get wishes, so they have follow-up for next turn, but that implies it stays there. Yeah, we get Spirit so it doesn't float. Now we just need to deal with True Light, and that's the end of the board. I went into Anguish, because I didn't have like a good Promethean target, so we can go Sharvara. What am I looking? No, Sharvara to pop Anguish. That way I can trigger Yama. Yama can bring back the Moon of the Closed Heaven. And what am I adding back? I think the only card I add back is like Sightsmoss because it's a physical card, and the other ones would go to the extra deck. So I go to use Yama. So we have to out True Light and the wishes, and then the game is effectively over. So Prologue says the Destruction Sword cards can't be destroyed by card effects, which is not the Buster Dragon, and it is not the Buster Blader. So those weird trap effects of these Buster Blader cards, they're like fake cards. They protect the whelps, and the whelps are like not really good. I guess he got tired of his Cipher asking him what to do. Why did I bother with this? The Buster Bladers out themselves. The Cipher doesn't really do anything. That was just unnecessary. So we're going into sequence. We're going to set a Unchained Trap to pop with Sharvara, which we're going to send off Aerial Eater. I don't have any Infernoids in graveyard to summon evil. But if I send Sharvara, if I send Shyama, I can pop a back row. And if I pop back row, I pop True Light. If I pop True Light, I win the game. I could summon Abominable and discard my... Oh. I summoned Aruha, so I can pop Aruha to pop True Light. True Light out the monsters on the board. Aruha summons from deck. Summoning Abominable to pitch the Lurie. Lurie to destroy the back row. Well, Lurie to summon itself after destroying the back row. We're under Dark Ruler. I've already went to battle phase, so I just have to like set up some sort of interruption. So I guess I go Caesar Rage. So I set up a Yama, and then go into Rage. I end turn because I was freaking out over the 3 seconds left. Alright, so we have Caesar and Promethean Princess, but no fires on field. I really just need to link those two off into Rage, and that would be it. So they are starting their turn. Normal Ghost Spell into Typhon. So that's a good sign for me. I know what card makes sense for them to hit. Because that doesn't really do them any favors. It puts cards in my graveyard I need in my graveyard. Bounce sequence, that's fine. Really just like Imagination, my opponent. Or do I just pop it with Sharvara? Oh. Guess I forgot I had Original. So Original will put back Ash to get Decatron. Pop Typhon. Oh, I don't even bother to pop Typhon. And I guess yeah, that's weird. I probably should have just popped Typhon. I want to Floodgate myself. I mean, the 3000 is an odd choice to make. The delete Typhon there to prevent 3000 attack monsters from doing their thing. Currently, I can't activate my Flood here. So we'll activate Engraver, bring it back, go into Requiem. I Requiem, bring out the Engraver. I can just send the Typhon to the graveyard and then just summon a guy to attack. This feels like this is I feel like I'm getting spastic at this game, but this is also the rank up game, so it makes sense. So summoning Shyama and using Yama to get a monster on board to end the game. I don't think it really matters what I bring back. I just bring back Princess. Do I bother bringing back a Decatron? Oh, I think I accidentally pressed destroy. Thank God it let me rewind. I banished the Tyrant because why not? And that's it. Getting in for game. Here we go. Ranking up. Diamond 4. Again. Let's see if we can avoid rank down again. So all these videos are really going in the following pattern. They replay the entire rank up, the entire rank down, or dodging a rank down. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.